Every single second, the engine powering TikTok is running millions upon millions of predictions in the background. It's evaluating practically every possible pair of user and video on the planet to decide what deserves your attention. Think about this for a moment. A brand new account with absolutely zero followers can post a video and go globally viral on day one, if the content is undeniably strong. That isn't just a marketing promise. It is literally how their core backend architecture is fundamentally designed from the ground up. You have to realize that TikTok doesn't actually have a single monolithic algorithm. Instead, it operates an incredibly complex multi-stage pipeline. It's a massive funnel that starts with a sprawling catalog of 1 billion videos and ruthlessly collapses it down to the exact single video playing on your screen right now. Stage 1 is known as candidate retrieval. The system takes a seemingly impossible catalog of hundreds of millions of videos and narrows it down to just a few hundred highly relevant candidates in sublinear time. It heavily relies on a sophisticated model ByteDance published called Deep Retrieval. Instead of using a naive brute force approach to compare every single video against your unique profile, Deep Retrieval does something brilliant. It mathematically encodes all available videos into a complex, discrete latent structure and rapidly traverses it using beam search. This gives them the exact same accuracy, but using only a tiny fraction of the raw compute power. Once that's done, we move to stage 2, ranking. Those carefully selected 100 candidates are then aggressively scored by a much larger, dramatically more expensive deep neural network. This network has the luxury of weighing much richer, complex features. Why? Because it now only has to process 100 specific items rather than 1 billion. If you look closely, the single most important input driving that ranking model is actually confirmed directly in TikTok's own official documentation. It is watch time and completion rate. It is absolutely not about how many likes you get, and it is certainly not about your follower count. It is entirely dictated by raw, unfiltered watch behavior. ByteDance recently published a second, arguably more fascinating paper, dubbed Monolith. This paper publicly detailed that their massive recommendation embedding table is completely collisionless. More importantly, it trains and updates in real time. It absorbs data from your very last interaction, mere milliseconds before the next video even loads. That real-time learning is the real differentiator. The vast majority of recommendation systems out there retrain in giant daily batches. That means they are always hours or even days behind your actual user behavior. Monolith entirely closes that crucial gap, shrinking it down to minutes or literally seconds. When you look at the confirmed public signal hierarchy, you see that completion rate and active replays sit right at the top of the pyramid. Below those come shares, which TikTok has explicitly noted carry significantly more mathematical weight than simple likes. This is followed closely by comments, saves, and finally, follows originating directly from the video. But what happens when you create a brand new account? Your very first session gives the model absolutely no history at all. This is the classic cold start problem. The system intensely scrutinizes your first few rapid swipes to desperately infer your starting interest cluster. Once it finds a match, the candidate retrieval engine immediately starts querying that specific cluster instead of just randomly sampling videos. If we look at QAShu, which is TikTok's closest architectural cousin in China, we know that the candidate retrieval stage alone is strictly required to return its candidates in single-digit milliseconds. This is necessary just to satisfy the incredibly tight latency budget of the full recommendation pipeline. You should know that every single time you choose to replay a video, you are handing the model its absolute clearest, highest quality signal. You are essentially telling the system, this specific piece of content was actually worth the heavy attention cost of consuming it a second time. This is especially powerful on a feed where the next potentially amazing thing is literally just one effortless swipe away. Of course, any piece of content that actually gets selected to be served to you must first pass through one final, critical gate. It passes through a strict diversity filter combined with a safety policy layer. This specialized system is exactly what proactively prevents you from seeing the same creator 3 times in a row. It also aggressively filters out any content that gets flagged for safety or moderation violations. There is a massive, fascinating disconnect between what you say you like versus what you actually stay and watch. The underlying mathematical model knows it should blindly trust the latter. Your raw, unconscious viewing habits are a vastly better proxy for your true interests than anything you would ever consciously say out loud in a survey. Ultimately, the recommendation engine doesn't actually know what you want on a conscious human level. It has no concept of your personality. It only mathematically understands what you watch, how long you linger, and what makes you swipe. And it optimizes for exactly that relentlessly.